Welcome back, children. So coming to today's class in wave optics, we'll be discussing about one of the important concepts that's called resolving power of optical instruments. So here in today's class, I'll be telling you about resolving power of human eye, then objective of telescope, as well as objective of microscope. Okay, we know microscope has to produce magnification, objective has to produce magnification, as well as it should have a better resolving power. Whereas for eye and telescope, magnification is not required, objective is not going to produce any magnification, only resolution. So to understand what do you mean by this resolving power, look at this example. Say you have 2 point objects placed very close to each other, and you are observing it using an objective or an opening or through a lens. If this lens can produce 2 separate diffraction patterns, okay, we know if this is a point object, it will actually give you a diffraction pattern. This behaves as a slit. Okay, the slit here is the opening of your eye or objective of your telescope or objective of the microscope. If 2 objects are closely spaced and this optical instrument is going to produce its diffraction pattern such that the 2 central maximas are well separated. Okay, this is the diffraction pattern of the first object and this is the diffraction pattern of the second object. So if they form the diffraction patterns such that they are well separated from each other and you are in a position to see them as 2 different point objects separated from each other, then we say that the 2 objects are well resolved. If I decrease the distance between these 2 point objects, okay, I bring them very close to each other and you are observing through an objective or the eye, and now the diffraction patterns are formed like this. They are overlapping with each other. The diffraction pattern of the first and the second objects are completely overlapping. Then for the person who is observing it, he will not be able to locate them as 2 point objects. The images will overlap and it will give you an impression as if it is a single object. Then we call this condition as unresolved. Now from these 2 examples, tell me, what do you mean by the word resolving power? The word resolving power is actually defined as, it is the ability of an optical instrument to separate two closely spaced objects. This is called as the resolving power of that optical instrument. So how do we define this resolving power? The ability of an instrument to form a separate diffraction patterns for 2 closely spaced objects. But for this resolution to occur, we need to understand one criteria which was given by Rayleigh, and that's called as Rayleigh's criteria. So let us see what is the meaning of this Rayleigh's criteria. According to Rayleigh's criteria, he says that if 2 point objects are placed at a certain minimum distance, okay, and you are observing it through an objective lens, the 2 point objects can be just resolved. Okay, I am using the word just resolved, the limiting condition. Okay, 2 closely spaced objects can be just resolved if the maxima of one coincides with the minima of the other. Say this is the diffraction maxima of the second object and this is the diffraction maxima of the first point object. These 2 point objects will be just resolved if maxima of first one coincides with the minima of the second and the maxima of second one coincides with the minima of the first. But for this to occur, he calculated this angular separation d theta and proved that this d theta should be equal to 1.22 lambda by small d. Okay, this is called Rayleigh's criteria. I again repeat, what does Rayleigh's criteria tell you? It says that if 2 point objects are at an angular separation of 1.22 lambda by d, where lambda is the wavelength of the light and d is the size of the slit what we are using, then the 2 point objects will be just resolved. So if they are just resolved, you can see them as two separate or two different point objects. So this condition we call it as Rayleigh's criteria. So by making use of this Rayleigh's criteria, let us see what will be the resolving power of I as well as for a telescope. Okay, we are going to get the same answer for I as well as for a telescope, but microscope is different because it has to produce even magnification. So let us look into the resolving power and limit of resolution of I and a telescope. So coming to resolving power of I and a telescope, okay, according to Rayleigh's criteria, what should be the angular separation between the 2 point objects? It should be 1.22 lambda divided by a d. So if these are the 2 point objects and this is the aperture of your eye. Okay, so here d represents the aperture of eye or aperture of the telescope. If it is telescope, aperture of the objective lens. If it is human eye, the diameter of human eye, that is aperture. So if d is the size of the aperture, what should be the angular separation between them to get the just resolved condition? This angle d theta must be equal to, okay, the same 1.22 lambda divided by small d. We call this angle itself as the limit of resolution. Okay, it is angular limit of resolution. Smaller the angle, better is the resolving power. If this angle becomes very, very small, then we see the instrument is having a very good resolving power. So how is resolving power related to the limit of resolution? They are inversely proportional to each other. So for a human eye or for a telescope, the same answer. What will be your resolving power? It is inversely related to the limit of resolution. So the resolving power can be written as d by 1.22 lambda. So this is your expression for resolving power of an eye or for a telescope, because they don't have to magnify the image, magnify the object, only resolution is sufficient. If objective can resolve it properly, then the second lens, eyepiece, will actually produce the magnification. In case of a telescope, I told you this, objective is not going to produce any magnification. Objective has to just resolve and bring the object close to the telescope. So look at the resolving power. How is it related to aperture of the lens? Directly. Larger the aperture, better is the resolving power. See, in case of telescope, when we have used the objective lens, we have taken the aperture very large. Larger aperture gives you a better resolving power. What should be the wavelength of the light? It should be very, very small. Smaller the wavelength, better is the resolving power. In case of a telescope, we have no choice. You can't change the wavelength of the incoming light. So we keep the aperture very large so that you get a well resolved image of the object. So this is one case for eye and telescope. Now let us see how to find the resolving power of a microscope. Now coming to the resolving power of a microscope, okay, we know the objective lens of a microscope should produce both magnification, at the same time it has to produce resolution. So there are two objectives for the objective lens. Along with magnification, it should also produce a good, well resolved image. So let us go back to Rayleigh's criteria. Okay, we know if this is the objective lens of a microscope. Okay, we have taken two closely spaced objects. The distance between them, I'll take it as d minimum. Okay, where do we place the object? At a distance just beyond the focus. Okay, I'll take it as nearly or approximately equal to f0. Okay, we know in case of a simple microscope, we are going to keep the object just beyond the focus of the objective lens. Okay, to get a magnified inverted and real image. So if these are the two closely spaced objects, so their diffraction patterns are obtained somewhere here at a distance V0. Okay, we know image is formed at a distance V0. These are just resolved. I'll call this angle as d theta. Okay, according to Rayleigh's criteria, what should this value of d theta be for the 2 point sized objects to be just resolved? D theta should be 1.22 lambda divided by small d. Remember, d is the aperture of lens. Okay, whatever lens we are using. So in case of simple microscope, in case of a compound microscope, I will find out the linear limit of resolution. Okay, first I find out what is this d minimum equal to. See, this angle is d theta. When theta is very small, can I write d theta as d minimum divided by f0? So I will replace this as the minimum distance divided by f0 should be 1.22 lambda divided by small d. So from here, tell me what should be the minimum distance d minimum between two closely spaced objects to be just resolved. D minimum should be 1.22 lambda into f0 divided by small d. I will call this as equation 1. Okay, we are going to further modify this relation. Okay, so to modify this relation, I am again taking this objective lens. Okay, let an object be placed here at a distance f0. Okay, join these two lines. We call this angle as beta. It is the semi-vertical angle. Remember, it's not a two-dimensional angle, it is a three-dimensional angle. So what is the size of the slit? We took it as d. Okay, this distance we took it as diameter of the aperture. I am taking it as equal to d. And if I call this angle as beta, if beta is very, very small, we know sin beta and tan beta can be written as opposite by adjacent side. So what is sin beta from this relation? Sin beta is equal to opposite distance, because beta is very, very small. I am taking sin beta as this distance, that is d by 2 divided by f0, or what is sin beta equal to? D by 2 f0. Call this as equation 2. Okay, we are going to eliminate f0 from our resolving power, from d minimum. Okay, to eliminate f0, tell me what can I write in the place of f0? f0 can be written as d divided by 2 sin beta. So if I replace f0 as small d divided by 2 sin beta, what will you get the minimum distance of separation to be? 1.22 lambda by small d. Replace f0 from equation 2 in equation 1. Okay, you will get it as f0 is equal to d by 2 sin beta. D and d will anyway get cancelled. What is d minimum equal to? 1.22 constant lambda divided by 2 sin beta. Remember this distance. This distance we call it as the linear limit of resolution. In case of a telescope and eye, we have taken angular limit. But in case of a microscope, I am taking the linear distance. What should be the distance between the two closely spaced objects so that they will be just resolved? So what is the limit of resolution? Limit of resolution for a microscope should be 1.22 lambda divided by 2 sin beta. And once you get this limit of resolution, resolving power is reciprocal of it. Okay, lesser the distance, better is the resolving power of the instrument. So what should be your formula for resolving power? In case of a microscope, resolving power is 1 by limit of resolution. Reverse the fraction, you will get this resolving power as 2 sin beta divided by 1.22 lambda. So observe the resolving power of a microscope. It is directly proportional to sine beta. Okay, beta depends on aperture. Larger the aperture, larger will be the value of beta. How is resolving power related to wavelength? Inversely. Smaller the wavelength, better is the resolving power. So therefore, when you are using a microscope, if you want to have a better resolving power, the region between object and the objective, okay, this is the object and the objective, we fill it with a material, a transparent medium or a liquid of refractive index mu. See, if you fill this region with a medium of refractive index mu, then we know wavelength decreases by mu times. If lambda decreases by mu times, what change will occur in the formula of refractive index? This is in case of air. If the medium between object and the objective is air, then it becomes 2 sine beta by 1.22 lambda. But instead, if you fill it with a liquid, wavelength will decrease, resolving power will increase. Then what will be your resolving power if there is a medium? Then you can write it as resolving power is equal to 2 mu sine beta by 1.22 lambda. Okay, you can remember this relation. If the medium is air, you can put the value of mu as equal to 1. So remember the formula. For a microscope, it is 2 mu sine beta by 1.22 lambda. And this term, mu into sine beta, is called numerical aperture. Okay, sometimes they ask you, what is numerical aperture? Mu sine beta is nothing but called as what? It is called numerical aperture. Okay, here I write. Mu sine beta is given a name, numerical aperture. If numerical aperture is large, then resolving power will be very, very high. So we try to keep this numerical aperture large. How to improve the numerical aperture? By increasing the size of the lens or by filling the region with a medium of larger refractive index. So if you fill this region between object and objective with a liquid, transparent liquid, you will have a better resolving power. So these are the two formulas which you have to remember for telescope as well as for a microscope. Again repeat, for a telescope we have taken angular limit of resolution. It was 1.22 lambda by small d, and resolving power was small d by 1.22 lambda. Whereas for a microscope it is 2 mu sine theta divided by 1.22 lambda. So this is how we can find out the resolving power of instruments by using the phenomenon of diffraction.